Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Gina and I had VSG surgery on April 25th of 2022. So today marks kind of day one in my new learning process within this VSG lifestyle. I am starting a nutrition program. Not with my bariatric center. I have found a separate nutritionist that has dealt with bariatric patients in the past, so she has some idea of like what I can eat currently. But today I'm meeting with her for the first time to see if I'm doing things right, because the most people, I asked about this on Instagram, and most people are like, don't you have a nutritionist already? And yes, technically I do through my program, but she's not very specific. Like, I had to pull out of her, and not to any fault of her own, I think that's just what the program is, and they can't really go off of what they've been told to do. So like, I got a general base for calories, I got a general base for carbs, but like protein, it was kind of like, well, just add a couple more or add this, try to be within this range. But for me, I think I need to know like actual specifics so I can meal plan and like fit everything. Like, I love a good puzzle. So to me, I think I just need more specifics. If she thinks I need to increase what I'm eating, especially with working out. So it's a 12-week program. I'm not giving out like her information currently right now because it is just insurance, and I want to see like how things go, and see if she would even be okay with me sharing information like that. So eventually maybe I'll kind of tell you who I'm using, and maybe if she takes your insurance, that's great. But for right now, I'm kind of keeping everything on the back burner. The program starts January 17th, and it ends, funnily enough, the day before my 1 year when I started my pre-op diet, which is April 14th. April 15th, I started my day one of pre-op. So it kind of all worked out that the last 12 weeks before my like official 1 year anniversary, I'm refocusing. Not so much refocusing, I've been focused, but obviously now that I'm almost 8-9 months post-op, things are slowing down tremendously. I'm assuming the holidays have part to do with that, but also just like this past week, I've been doing good. I've been getting my water, I've been eating correctly, I've been working out, and the scale has not moved like at all. So I am hoping that all of this helps. If I can get any information I can get that will help me learn how to eat, what to eat, when I should be eating, how much, that kind of thing, I'm gonna take it. And if it's covered by my insurance and I don't have to pay anything for it, I'm gonna learn everything I can to help fuel my body and kind of get to where my goals are, because I still have things I want to do. I still would like to lose another 45 pounds and get to 180. I would like to build muscle, like all that kind of stuff I still have to do, and I'm going to take you along with me while figuring that out. So a little extra help is not going to hurt. So the plan for this video, I'm going to be kind of recording behind the scenes, which will be fun, that no one knows that I'm doing this. I'm not going to record her, obviously. I might take some notes. I'll take some notes, and then I'll share with you what she told me I should be doing. Let's get today started and get this meeting going. I'm very excited to take notes and kind of learn a little bit more about what she thinks I should be doing. I'm about to head into the meeting. We'll see how this goes. I am excited, nervous, not nervous, excited to see what she has to say, what she thinks about what I'm eating now versus my bariatric dietitian and what I've been told. So we'll see if there's any differences, and see if obviously she knows I've had bariatric surgery, so we'll see. I'm assuming she said she'll like adjust for that, basically, because she knows I can only eat about 3 ounces of protein at a time. So it'll be interesting to see what she says. All right, I am all done with my nutrition first appointment. It went really well. I basically like checked off a lot of the things that like she encourages us to start off with anyway. Water, working out, tracking is pretty important, so she can see what I'm eating every day. So as far as like my macros go, she specifically, because I'm a bariatric patient, she wants to see what I'm eating currently. So for the next I guess now until next week, Thursday, now until Wednesday, something like that, I'm gonna track in my FitnessPal what I'm eating so she can see. And then she'll give me like a calorie goal. Then she goes, at least bare minimum, she wants me to be at 1200, which right now I'm not really hitting consistently. Every once in a while I'll get to 1200, but for the most part I'm at like 1100-ish. So, and then she did give me a breakdown of like percentage wise what my calories, my carbs, protein, and fat should be at. So it was like a breakdown of 20% carb, 40% protein, 40% fat, I think, which is about 60 carbs, so more than I'm getting currently. And obviously it should be things like fruit and vegetables, not bread, which I'm not eating anyway, so that's fine. And then it was like 120 grams of protein, which is more than I'm having now. So I think I'm gonna have to actually drink a full protein shake in order to get that instead of my half a shake a day, which is fine, not a big deal. And it was about 50 grams of fat, which is kind of what I hit anyway. So not too big of a deal there. So I'm excited to increase my calories a little bit, increase my protein quite a bit. And yeah, see where that goes. She also said to count regular carbs, not net carbs, which is a little unfortunate, but it's what I've been doing, so not that big of a deal. So she's gonna see what I eat for the next week or so, and then reevaluate me and let me know what she thinks I should be doing. So she's very nice, love it. And I can't wait for class because I get to meet some new people. And I showed her my Instagram page because she asked me about pictures. Like, she doesn't require us to take pictures. I have to take scale pictures basically every week so she can see what I'm at. She asked like if the pictures were like a big motivator. I'm like, heck yeah. I said, I can show you if you want. So I pulled up my Instagram quick for her to look at a couple of pictures, but yeah, she was very nice and I can't wait to get started. So we will see how the first week of class goes. All right, it is night one of my first nutrition class. So class starts in about 15 minutes. I am presentable looking, I think. I don't know if I'm gonna have to talk during this, at least like introduce myself. I'm not really sure, but my YouTube lives have certainly prepared me for this. So if this were like a pre-surgery situation, I would probably be like super nervous and anxiety ridden, but I'm very excited for this now. So I have my notebook to take notes. She also gave us like a ton of paper work on carbs and fats and how to read nutrition labels. I guess that we're gonna go over tonight. A lot of this stuff is basically things I learned in my pre-op class. So I'm not expecting to learn a whole lot of new information, but it'll be a great refresher for sure. Because all these other people in this class, I think, are like starting from zero. So I at least have a leg up with, I kind of know what's coming. So yeah, we're going over carbs, we're going over fats. She also gave us, where did I put it? It's like a calendar thing. Did I already lose everything? I'm gonna put it up here. It's a workout calendar. Oh, it's in here. There. It's like just one of these like January through December things. But so far in January, I filled out all the days I've worked out. So hopefully we'll make this nice and pretty all year. So I'll definitely keep that up even after this 12-week course. But yeah, we'll see what she says. She's supposed to look over what I've been eating the past couple days. Let me sign in. I don't think she emailed me. Let me just double check. Refreshing. No, nothing yet. So she'll probably email me tomorrow, I'm assuming, with what she wants my macros to be at, because she wanted to see a couple days worth of my eating so she could like guide me on what I should be doing next. Because I'm not gonna have the same macros as everyone else, even if they're all relatively the same height and weight. Like, mine is still not gonna be close to what theirs is with the bariatric. So So we'll see what that is. I don't know if I'll have an update on that tonight, but I will let you know when she tells me. So yeah, I'm excited to hopefully learn some new things today, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna get into the Zoom here in a couple minutes. And we'll see. This is like my pre-op class all over again, like learning new things, and I don't know, I'm just excited. So we will see how it goes. I'm ready for Zoom. It's so funny because like for work, when we have Zoom meetings, we're not required to put our camera on. So like, this is what it would be like if I had to do that, which is really funny. But I do not look like this usually when I work. So, all right, let's get to class. We are done with the meeting. Today was basically just like for me, a review day of like everything I learned in my pre-op classes, basically how to read a food label, what carbs are good, you know, how much protein are in things, things like that, like what's considered a starchy carb versus a, you know, a regular, I don't know, you know the drill if you've been in any nutrition classes. So that was basically the rundown. And then at the end, I had her call me back because she wanted to look at my food for the past couple days to see what I was eating and if I needed to make any adjustments. So basically we're going to do 1,200 calories, which ups my stats a little bit, like macros wise. So that's about 60 carbs. Currently I'm doing about 50, 120 grams of protein, which maybe on a good day I would get like 105. So we're gonna up that a little bit more, and then about 53 grams of fat, which is kind of where I'm at usually anyway. So that part I'm good with. The other thing she wants me to change is, well, one is like to work out maybe a little bit harder than I am, but not like crazily, so I have like a huge deficit, especially with me stalling out also. She doesn't want me to have a huge deficit because if I work out too much, then I need to eat more, and it's like an ever-evolving cycle. So what I need to try to do is eat more carbs with my meals and not as a snack. So it's like I would have like a Built Bar before I go to bed. Well, those 16 carbs before I go to bed aren't doing me any good. Like I need to be eating those to fuel me throughout the day, not like before I go to sleep at night. So if I'm going to have a protein bar, it should be in the morning, or at least before a workout, so I can use that as like my energy to work out. And then like a good breakfast to keep me going, a good lunch, and then, yeah, so, I mean, I'll try it. So I'm going to not snack on crackers anymore, unless it's like part of my meal, I guess, for that day, or at least in the morning. I don't know. This is going to be one giant puzzle piece to figure out. So I'm just going to have to find different healthy carbs to add in. I still don't want to eat bread, rice, or pasta, so I don't know what else I'm going to add in. I guess fruits. I could do that. Just like, the problem is, like, I love bananas, right? They are pretty high in carbs, but I can't go through like a real banana. It's like, I'm going to have so many frozen banana pieces in my freezer. I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is like the weird part of surgery when you don't have a plan anymore and you need to figure it out because you still have goals you want to hit. So, I guess next time you will see me is when I figure out what I'm going to meal prep on, what's tomorrow's Friday? Probably Saturday night. So it'll be a yeah, I'm gonna have to think how I'm gonna do this, because I'm going to film my meal prep for the week, but I also need to shoot for this video. So maybe I'll plan in the other one, which you've already seen probably at this point in time. And then I'll come on here and I'll kind of explain my thought process. I don't know. We're making this up as we go, but at least I have like a new set of rules. Hopefully it helps and I can keep that scale moving down, because my current revised goal, I guess not revised, I guess this has kind of been my goal. Well, no, it is revised. By 1 year anniversary, surgiversary, is to be 100 pounds down instead of being at 200. So that saves me 10 pounds, basically, because my original goal was to be nearing 200 pounds by April 25th. I don't think that's a possibility, at least not the way January has gone so far. So my goal is to have 100 pounds lost by then, which is still an achievement and still really good. Even though sometimes I can't tell that I've lost 85 pounds so far. But anyway, again, off track. So end goal, April 25th, is to be 210, 15 pounds away. We'll see. It should be plenty of time for me to lose 15 pounds. So I say. So we'll see come the time. But yeah, I will see you on Saturday to try to figure out this puzzle piece. All right, it is meal prep time with my new guidelines for my diet. So I'm going to start writing things down. And we're gonna see what we can figure out to eat with my new parameters. So let me think, what's the easiest way to do this? I guess I could screen record. So hang on, let me do that. That'll be easier. Okay, we've got my screen recording, so I will put it over me here. So the first thing, we're gonna lay out my parameters. So 1,200 calories, 60 grams of carbs, and I think it was 52 grams of fat. I'm not gonna focus on the fat right now. I just want to make sure I can get in 1,200 calories and around 60 grams of carbs. And then I guess we'll go into fat after the fact. I am doing my meal prep videos simultaneously with this, so I've already kind of pulled out what I think I'm gonna have. So here are, actually, let me start. I have my, okay, I cannot type protein, coffee. Then I'll have breakfast. Then I'll have snack 1, lunch, snack 2, dinner. Wow, okay. So protein coffee really doesn't change. I always have my shake between Premier or Fairlife, so that doesn't matter. Oh, I have to add 120 grams of protein. That's important also. So, so for my protein coffee, it's usually 160 calories, 30 grams of protein, and I think it's 4 carbs. We'll just roughly pencil that in. For breakfast, I know I have turkey sausage upstairs, and I'll probably do an egg. So let's pull up, let's do this just as a baseline. So we're looking at 60 calories, 4 protein, it's bacon. So if I have 2 slices and an egg, that's 130 calories. That is 7, 8, 9, 11 grams of protein and no carbs. So I'm gonna highlight this because I don't think that's enough, because I'm also trying to do like the plate method where it's half protein, veggie, carb. So this is pure carb, or this is pure protein, so I don't think that's gonna be enough. But for now, we'll put that in and then we'll keep going. Snack one, I could definitely do a yogurt. And granola. So for that, let's go back here. So we're at 165 calories, 5 grams of protein, so 2.5, and 4.5 carbs. Okay, so we'll just call it 8 carbs and 14 grams of protein. Okay, now this obviously these do not have vegetables. For lunch, I think I'm gonna do, I'm pretty sure I have chicken sausages and then peppers and onions. And then I can put like jardinere and stuff on that. I think that'll be delicious. So chicken sausage. Now the problem with this one is like, I don't know what to make my carb. Like, do I count the peppers and onions as my carb, or is that my vegetable kind of thing? Because she did give us like a carb list, but a lot of these things, like, I'm not gonna eat. Like, I'm not having bread or rice or pasta. This is my predicament. So I could add like a fruit to this, I guess. I don't know, that doesn't really sound good going together. Let's see, under vegetables, what is considered potato, corn, peas? Yeah, green bean. I mean, peppers and zucchini and spinach are on this, so I guess I could make, I think I have cream spinach. Cream sausage with veg. So let me look up, I think they're the Trader Joe's. 110, 11, what did I say? 3 carb. Okay, to this we will have to add in vegetables. So I know the veggie I have is Green Giant creamed spinach nutrition. So I'm gonna add 40 to this. So that'd be 150. Add 2 grams of protein. So we're up to 13. And then, 5, I guess we'll just add 5 carbs. So we're at 8 for that. Then I wanna do, how many, I don't know. Nutrition, 1 ounce green pepper. We'll just see if this is even worth adding in here. 1 carb, 6 calories, like, it's not even that much, but I'll add a carb in each. Let me check onions. 3 carbs for onions. Okay, so we're just guesstimating here. So let's just do 170 calories. I'm not editing the protein because there is hardly any. And then I guess we'll give this 12 carbs for lunch, which is, I think that's carb heavy enough. I don't know. All right, we'll leave that alone. For a snack, I'm pretty sure I still have some mozzarella, so I can do like a mini snack plate with mozz and cuke. And I'm pretty sure I have turkey pepperoni, mozzarella, cucumber, and then like my dip. So I think just because I've made this so many times, I'm pretty sure it is I think it's about 150 calories. Like, and at this point, I don't know if I should add in the crackers. Let's see, turkey pep nutrition. Let me just make sure. So I guess it's about 10 grams of protein. 10 protein. And then how much? I usually have about 2 ounces of cucumber. If this is boring too, I'm so sorry, but this is, I don't know what I feel, not what I feel like I need to do, but at least like this first time. Okay, so 2 carbs for that. I guess technically for it to follow the plate method, right? But it's a snack. See, that's what I don't know. And I'm pretty, at this point, I'm fairly low on carbs, so I probably should. And cuke crackers. So I'll do 3 carbs for the cucumber, 4 with my dip, and then if I have like 3 Ritz round crackers, that's 6. So like 11 carbs, I guess. I don't know. Okay, and then dinner, I do have those mozzarella meatballs. Meatballs with sauce, and I have the miracle noodles. So I don't think this is enough food. I don't think it is. Let me add this stuff up so far. Well, okay, let me do dinner, and then so 180, 16 protein, 2 carb. Okay, then I need to add in my homemade sauce, which I already have figured out. I'm not gonna add in protein because there wasn't that much, but for every ounce I use, it's like 12 calories. So say I use 3 ounces, I think that's being generous. So it's another 36. Okay, so we'll just say 220. No extra protein. And it's 2 carbs because it's tomatoes, it has sugar in it. So that's 6, so that's 8 carbs for that. Again, I can't go, yeah, this has almost nothing, so I'm not gonna honestly even add these in because I'm not eating a full serving, like, at all. I guess I could add in 1 for a carb, but I don't even think it's gonna be that much. Okay, so let's total these and see where we're at, and then we're gonna need to beef some of these up, I feel. Okay, so 160 for breakfast. I'll be nice, I'll give myself the 30 extra calories for my coffee creamer I sometimes add in. Okay, and then 130 for breakfast, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to edit that one. Plus 165, plus 170, plus a 150, plus, yeah, we are not even close, 220. Oh, well, I mean, we're closer than I thought. Okay, so currently we're at 10:25. And then protein-wise, I, again, don't think we're close, but let's check. 30 plus 11, oops. 30 plus 11 plus 14 plus 13 plus 10 plus 16. 94 protein. And then carbs, we are at 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 11 plus 9. 44. I am stumped. Like, that's a lot of food for one day for me. So I need more calories, more protein, and more carbs. I mean, the carbs will be easy. I can add an extra cracker with my snack. Oh man, I don't know. What else could I add to breakfast? And the problem is I'm not shopping, so like I kind of have to use what I have. Cereal? Oatmeal? Do I make overnight oats? I guess I could do that. But then that's another meal. Like, should I be eating another meal? Dang, y'all, this is hard. Okay, I'm gonna think for a little bit and then I'll be back because this has already gone on for 20 minutes. 20 minutes too long, so I'll be back. Okay, I am back. Here is what I think I came up with to get relatively close. So let's look at it. So what I beefed up, my protein coffee in the morning. I guess I'm not really gonna have it as coffee anymore. I think I need to make it like into an actual shake. So plan is to take like a chocolate or I guess chocolate. And as long as I add some PB2, like a tablespoon of PB2 and like 2 ounces of banana, which are giving me like the good carbs, that'll bump everything up. And I can drink it as like a Frosty or like add ice to it or whatever. So that'll be the plan for this week. I might still just have a regular cup of coffee to start my day because I don't have it for the caffeine, but I feel like I need it to live peacefully. So I might do just a cup of coffee right when I wake up and then make my protein shake before I start work. We'll see if that works. And then hopefully, since that has a lot of carbs in it, you know, in the morning, like that'll power me through the day. We'll see. The other thing I added was just like the tiniest bit of cottage cheese, like I'm talking an ounce maybe. And that's only because I don't have very much left of it. Like I think if I take an ounce, I can get it to last me at least the 5 work days. But since I'm not grocery shopping, I mean, I guess I could go get some more, like it's not end all be all, but for now I want to use what I have. So, I think if I add that in, it'll get me a couple more carbs, a little bit more protein, and a couple more calories. So we're good there. The only other thing I could think of, because I was getting pretty high on my carbs as is, so the only thing, I don't know if I should even do this, is to add another half a protein drink, like at night when I'm feeling snacky. Like, I don't know, guys. So I put it in red because it's a maybe. So without the protein shake, I'm really only at 1,075, 100 grams of protein, which is pretty good, and 62 carbs. So if I add in the half a protein shake, that's even if I'm still hungry. I don't think I'm going to be, like, that's a lot of food for me. So if I do add a half a protein shake, because at nighttime, especially when I go upstairs, that is when I tend to feel the most snacky. But I'm hoping that like adding in all my carbs earlier in the day are gonna help me get rid of that feeling, but who knows. So if I have to have a half a protein shake, it would bump me up to like closer to where I need to be. Like I'd be getting just shy of 1,200, just shy of 120. I go over on my carbs, but I don't think 4 carbs is going to make or break me at this point. So that's the rough plan. Will this work? I have no idea. So this is like how I try to figure out what I need to have. Now this is a little more drastic than my normal meal plannings, just because I have these new parameters I want to try to work with. So hopefully this gave you some ideas on like how my crazy mind works, and I'm going to implement this by doing some meal prepping this afternoon. So that video will already be up. You'll have already seen that, but and then we'll see how this week goes with eating. I'll probably just update in my 9-month update video. I haven't thought this far ahead. Like I only have my videos ready for like this, or my video ideas ready for this week, and that's basically it. So thank you for going on this crazy new nutritionist journey with me. So if you want any information on, I'm not going to like give up my nutritionist info yet, just because I don't really know how it's going to go, or if she wants to be involved. I don't think that's the case. So I'm going to kind of keep it on the DL, but tips on how to find a nutritionist if you'd like to, through your insurance. I had Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. And they have a great tool on there to where you can look up in-network providers. So I just went on there, I typed in nutritionist, and a bunch of people came up. Again, I tried to vet the people beforehand as best I could. So a lot of the people that did show up did not have a website or anything like that. My lady did have, she had a Facebook page, which I don't have a Facebook, but I could still see everything. So that was good. So I at least got to saw that she was actively posting like in real time. And then I just got her info and I emailed her and then we talked. So, use any insurance information you have, call your insurance. I know it's a pain to call insurance, but they really are helpful, in trying to find who you're covered with and what you can get that's covered 100% on your insurance. So definitely check that out. If you have any questions for me, feel free to drop them down below. If you want real-time updates on how things are going, what I'm eating, that kind of thing, go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Gina.VSG, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.